Hey guys, welcome to Two Lines Tuesday with Two Lines. Welcome to the live stream tonight. As you can see, we have a special guest who's already wiped out once. So my brother Dusty is in the house, putting in some laps on the track, trying to get his, what is that, your NSR? The NSR 917 10K, I think, which is pretty sweet. It's in the Jägermeister livery, so it's probably kind of hard to see, but we'll go to the action cam at some point. I was setting up the webcam, and it fell over, and that's what you got at the beginning of the. Oh yeah, there you go. So that's what is on the track, getting some laps tonight. It's a sweet car, NSR. Got it tuned up, ready for Cincy slots on Thursday. So how are you guys this evening? Wow, chats. I look up and the chat's busy already. Hey, Gladstone, welcome. Jim Anthony, welcome. Hey, Gene, just finishing dinner. Valentine's dinner, right? Let's see here. I need to move this. We need to improve product placement here. Hey, there's Daryl. Hey, Dan Wiley. Great job last night, Dan, on Raul's live stream. Fantastic job. Really enjoyed seeing your builds and what you had going on in your slot car room. That was exciting. Welcome, Daryl. Welcome, Conquest. Raul, good to have you again. Ingest 101. It's that time. That's right. It's time for the live stream. Hey, DeFingers. Welcome. Hey, Dave. Did anybody watch the Lunch King painting figures? It's about a week old. Dave, I have not looked at that. It did show up in my feed, though. I need to go out and check it out, so I will do that. Ronan, what's up? Let's see. Hey, De Leon. Welcome. Hey, Billy. Billy is bald. If anybody checked out Sunday Slot Cars video earlier, Billy was giving recommendations on what Carrera track, if he were buying one, what he would like. So great video. That was a great thought, because a lot of people have that question. It's been asked in the chat here, so that's great. Welcome, Bernie. But yeah, what I was getting back at is Billy got a haircut today, and he went all in. So welcome, Bernie. Hey, it was great to see you on Saturday. It was fun. There's my brother chatting and racing at the same time. That's good. Hey, George, welcome. Hey, John Mark. Hey, Cliff from down south. Good to have you, Cliff. Hey, Mr. Bacon. You're on the road again, so you won't chat. That's right. Be safe. No texting and driving. You probably shouldn't be live streaming and driving either, but if you're probably just listening on your car stereo. So we all would rather hang here for Valentine's Day. Just so you guys know, I did take my wife out to our local Mexican restaurant. It was delicious. Los Mariachis. Shout out to the Los Mariachis guys. They are not a channel sponsor, but they fed me chips and salsa, so it was all good. But my wife and I had a great, Jennifer, what's her name? My wife and we had a great meal. It was a lot of fun. They lost my debit card for about 25 minutes. It disappeared, and we have no idea. So I may have a bunch of Amazon purchases on my debit card. Let's just hope it's all slot car stuff. Yeah, as I say, let's hope it's all slot car stuff. So Area 51 just shot down a UFO. That's nice. Thank you. The video wasn't extracting right, and I thought it was corrupt. Nail biter. No, it was fine. Daryl says more practice and less texting, Dusty. Yeah, Josh. Where's Josh? I saw. Hey, Josh Reed. There it is. How was the race on Saturday? Josh, the race on Saturday, we will get to that. We will probably talk a little bit about that race. Actually, I tried to pull in some footage that I took from my phone, and so maybe we will try to take a look at that, possibly. So yeah, I'll try to I'll put it up on the screen to remind myself to play it. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Hey, Clint. Hey, Nick R. Nick, where are you located, man? 1 and 2, I need to thank your wife because Trent at Rost Coffee texted me a picture. You guys had ordered some coffee. I hope you enjoyed the coffee. And he said he was going to write you a little note. So thanks, Nick. And there were some other guys that ordered coffee too. I appreciate it. I did give away some coffee, but I'm going to surprise some people. So, let me know. I think we sent it out on Monday. Trent said he was going to ship stuff out on Monday. So, let me know if you get your coffee the next day or two. And I hope you enjoy it. So I really appreciate you guys. Since we're here, we'll go ahead and mention it. Don't forget about my channel sponsor real quick, Rost Coffee. I told you the story about how that came about. I'm a coffee guy. Drink my coffee every morning. I have an espresso machine. It's a hobby. It's a whole science. I love the science of coffee. I've only been a coffee drinker for about 6 or 7 years, but thanks to my buddy Trent at Rost. So Trent is taking care of the channel, and he's given me some free coffee. And with that, I'm giving that coffee to you guys. So I hope you all enjoy it as more and more people get coffee each week. So I really appreciate it. Just don't forget, if you like coffee, go check out roastcoffee.com. I could throw that graphic up real quick. Where's it at? I lost my graphics. Oh, there they are, overlays. So yeah, real quick, don't forget Rost Coffee, and it's roastcoffee.com. HTTPS, ROSTCOFFEE.com. And if you use the code 2lines, all one word, TWOLINES, at the checkout, you will get 25% off your first order or subscription if you do a coffee subscription. And I hope that if you buy some coffee and enjoy it, or you get gifted some coffee and you enjoy it and you want to buy more, that'd be great. Remember, you can get 25% off your first purchase and 20% off lifetime the coffee subscriptions. I have a coffee subscription, have for a while. My wife got it for me, so I usually I get I go through about a bag every 3 weeks. I'm not a heavy coffee drinker, but I love it. So, guys, thanks for supporting Trent, who's supporting my channel. I really, really appreciate that, and I know he does too. He was excited to ship some stuff out to all you guys. So, but let's get back into it. This weekend, I'm not really paying attention to the chat. Sorry, guys. So you are in Bedford. So, Nick, you probably already have your coffee. That's awesome. That's okay. So you must be, Daryl was referring back to, hey, Lionface, welcome. Lionface, you, at the end of one of the live streams, you asked a question, and it didn't get answered. And now I can't remember what that question was. I may sneak back to the other video and try to remember, because I knew I wanted to answer it. So Daryl, I got lucky, man. I got that car tuned up a little bit with your help, and it was running pretty good, and I got into a good rhythm. I will say that I got matched up next to Bruce, who's really fast, and because of that, I was able to do some pacing of him for a few laps every once in a while, and that kept me in the slot and kept me pushing the edge of the car. So I was driving into the turns a little harder than normal, and was staying in the slot a little bit more frequently. So I was pretty happy with my 76 and almost 77 laps. So yeah, was pretty excited about that. It was a lot of fun. So what that was on Saturday, Bruce, who owns Cincy Slots, who's been here on this live stream, who was a great friend of Two Line Slot Cars and the live stream. He had a race at his house. He has a beautiful 4-lane track, analog. It was 2 lanes digital, but they just pulled the digital out, and it's just 4 lanes analog. It's a pretty big layout. It's, I don't know, about 10 feet wide and about 20, maybe 22 feet, about 20 feet wide, long, I think. So I don't know if I can get this to play. I'll show you some footage. Maybe I'll talk over that footage. Let's see. How do I get that up here? But it was great. So we ran 2 classes. We ran Trans Am modified, which was Mustangs, Camaros, whatever Daryl had in his box, because everybody seemed to race one of Daryl's cars. So Dusty and I were fortunate enough. We got to race one of his cars. I think Tate, he raced one of his cars. Scott maybe raced one of his cars. I can't remember who else. So he supplied everybody with cars, and he probably raced his slowest. But that's just how Daryl is. He's a good dude. I'm trying to get him to come on the live stream, and his wife on the background is working on him to come on the live stream, but he always keeps giving me excuses. So I appreciate that. I did not kick your butt. I got you by like 1 lap, I think. Let's see here. Josh. Hey, Brian. Welcome. Let's see. Yeah, great. I'm glad it went fast. Bricks, a lot of crashing in the background. Yeah, Dusty. That's funny. Let's see here. Who else? I need to order some. You said that the Brazil is your favorite. Yeah, Ronan, if you have an espresso machine, the Brazil is a single origin coffee. It's fantastic, very smooth. The notes are chocolate, molasses, and it's like sweet cream. It's a very, very good, smooth, very flavorful coffee. I drink a strong coffee, so I use a double shot, and I put a little bit of half and half in it, and a little bit of simple syrup. At Rost, they have a drink called the Cubano, so it's only about a 6-ounce hot drink. It's more like 10 ounces as an iced drink, but really, really good, very smooth. But any of the others they're all really good. So if you do pour overs or you just do a regular drip coffee, I would probably go Brazil with that. But yeah, that's just my recommendation. Trent, if he jumps on, he might have a better recommendation. Also, you can send them a message on Instagram. You can follow their account and probably answer any questions about any of the flavors that they have, or any of the origin coffees that they have. Let's see here. Josh, all this coffee talk is going to make me drive out to Chillicothe, try a cup. Josh, yes, definitely. And when you do, show up and I'll buy your coffee. Bernie, my Mustang was stock, not modified. You still ran pretty good, Bernie, if you were in a stock Mustang. It definitely looked good going around the track. So all the guys that are in the chat from Cincy Slots, see, they're used to me being at the bottom of the list. So me finishing 6th was a surprise for everyone, including me. So I appreciate that. Conquest, any new slot cars lately? Yeah, I believe he probably got a bunch from Billy. Cubano, very strong. So it's not quite what a Cuban coffee is. A Cuban coffee is like super, super strong, the size of 1 shot, but it's probably got 3 shots of coffee. Like, it's super strong. This is a strong coffee drink. It's just because it's only 6 ounces, but it's just a double shot of espresso. So anyway, back to slot cars. So we had a great time. Let me see if I can get this video to play. Did you shake the table or something? Yeah, that happens. I always go back and I delete those out of the track records. Okay. So if I create a scene, of course. What if I just share this screen? That didn't do what I wanted it to do either. All right. I've played videos before. Just have to remember how I do them. Okay. Web browser. Ecamm Live. So yeah, I want to show you this video because it's the track is fantastic. Bruce showed a picture of it, or I showed a picture of it when he was on the live stream a couple weeks ago. But let's see here, new scene. Cam. Well, shoot. Source. Video file. Choose file. There we go. And downloads. Okay, there we go. Yes. That corner's working, you Dusty. Back to the camera. There we go. Had to find the right button. So some great footage. Those are all Nomag racing. So the first class was Trans Am Modifieds, and then Revo slot, and you could run any Revo slot. So the Mercedes was really quick. The Toyota LMP car was really quick that Jamie was running. There were a couple of the Mercedes. I felt like I raced my Ferrari 333 Revo slot, and I felt like it was pretty quick. But there were a lot of great cars in that class. So it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. Hey, there's Jamie. Hey, welcome, Jamie. Great job on Saturday. So, yeah, Gene, this was no digital racing. This was all analog, 4-lane analog track. No magnets. Yep, glitch in the matrix. It changed my default scene when I added the video. So, yeah, my bad. That's just me not being efficient. Need a camera car on that track. Yeah, that would have been fun. I agree. But yep, no digital racing that night. It's an analog 4-lane non-digital. Yep, that's right. Yeah, DeFingers. It was some awesome racing. Here's the thing. Great group of guys. You could tell in that video there was nobody yelling at a marshal to pick up the car. There was, nobody. Everybody was having a really good time. Everybody's really friendly. Again, there's something special going on down there at Cincy Slots with that group of guys. It's a very healthy place to go race. So a lot of fun. So do we want to check out Dusty on the track? I can go wireless on the camera here and see if I pick the right one here. There's a picture of the setup. So now you know what I'm looking at. Check out the rack of cars. I think this whole shelf belongs to John Mark. So, and that shelf belongs to George. So we'll jump back on, just to give you a little idea of what the track's like. Looking at doing some changes to the track. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, Bricks, thanks. The track is 24 feet long, 8 feet wide, about 112 feet lane length. So, yeah, DeFingers, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Is Dusty ready to be checked out? He probably is not. Dusty was kind of slow marshaling, but we'll let him slide since he's new. Yeah, Ronan, it is. It really is a great environment to race. Dusty is running no mag. Yes, that NSR. And again, we talked about it last week. This track is not really set up for no mag racing. It's really set up for digital racing with the high bank, and so we're looking at making some changes. I probably could flash up some of the. I've been working with Jamie. He sent me some ideas, and I've been kind of manipulating some of those ideas to fit my table. And I have got a couple of obstacles to work around on the table. One is a post here on this end. You can see. So I kind of have to pay attention to that in the layout. But anyway, yeah. So I appreciate that. Thanks. Hey, grandson of man, welcome. Hey, William. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Shotgun Dave, welcome to the live stream. Let's see who else. Hey, Gary, welcome. Track speed, nice setup, Marty. It's been a lot of collaboration with my brother and John Mark to put the layout together. So what we have here is because of their generosity and them wanting to just be a part of the layout and the track. So we try to gather about once a week. We have since probably November almost every week, just to put some laps in and work on the layout. And we've had this layout like this for, I don't know, maybe 3 months now. I think it was like this for Thanksgiving. Just before Thanksgiving, I made some changes. We extended that inner turn here on this end by me. So, yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. So I don't know. What do we want to talk about? Does anybody in the chat have questions? Anything they want to talk about? Anybody getting new cars this week? I saw Bruce announced some new Revo slots that he got yesterday. So he did that in a live stream last night. So it was cool to see that we have some new cars coming out. I think NSR released their catalog. I think Travis posted that. I don't know, with Carrera's new catalog, we've had a lot of cars that we have coming this year, which is pretty awesome to see. So yeah, Ronan. Yeah, it's nice just having the three of us really to be able to race here. But the fact that we've kind of found a home track someplace has been really good. Again, maybe one day this will become a club track, and more people will get a chance to race on it. So, what else do we have? But yeah, any questions? I sent my list of Sunday slot cars. Yeah, Raul was just like, here's what's coming out from Carrera that I want, Billy. Just ship them to me as they come in. Here's my credit card. What was that? Just send me 2 of each. Ronan's getting the new SCX CUDA and the Polycar F1 arriving tomorrow. Okay, that Polycar, is that the new F1 that they just released, the Long Beach? That is a cool looking F1. They did a great job with that. Let's see here. Yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm interested in see that on your track, Ronan. I got my first 124 scale thanks to your channel. That's cool. We don't get a chance to run 124 very often. So hopefully we'll get to do some more of that at some point. I'm really eyeing that BRM. It's expensive. I'm not sure that I want to spend $150 on a slot car, but the Ferrari 512M that they're releasing looks really, really cool. So yeah, that's cool. So yes, that is that F1. Can't wait to see that. That's pretty cool. I think they were passing that around on Saturday, looking at it at Bruce's. I think he got a few in there late last week, maybe. Okay, Slot Car Joe with track speed 815. I found out the hard way how important it is to break in your motor with WD-40. I broke in. I'm working on a video. I need to build a dyno to finish my video, but I did some testing, breaking in a motor using just water. And so once I get the test results, I'll probably put a video out about that. We talked about breaking in a motor last week, and so this past weekend I did some tests and broke in a new motor, and we'll see how it performs before and after. So let's see here. Yeah, Nick, you're right. You spend that when you have to chip an NSR. I mean, that's been the best thing about George lending me his tech slot, is I've not had to purchase chips, but I have to laugh. I have 3 slot Technic chips right here on my table that I've pulled out of cars. So the only thing I'm running digital now on my track are Carrera cars. All of my cars that I had previously chipped, I've converted back to analog because I can run them that way, and I want to be able to use them down at Cincy Slots when we race. So I pulled the magnets out of them, I pulled the chips out of them, and they're back to being analog cars. So that's kind of the route that I've taken. Let's see. Somebody asked a question up here. Hey, John Albright, welcome to the party. You're not too late, man. You haven't missed a whole lot. I saw Bruce's stream tonight, and he had some nice liveries coming out. Yep, Gary, I agree. That Repsol 911 Riva slot is pretty. Yeah, I knew you would. That's a good looking car. I really like that livery. Conquest, it was a good novel. I do recommend it. I missed that. So Lionface, you said, is it just me or do the NSR cars look off? I think their wheels look too small on the GT3 cars, and the modern F1 cars look off. I think that NSR, they probably are not going for complete detail to the T when they design a car. I mean, they want them to be race cars, I think, first, and then, pay honor to the old cars and liveries. But I don't know that they really focus on detail like maybe we're getting in some of the other cars. Carrera's detail has been phenomenal for the price, for sure. And the MR slot car stuff has amazing detail. The Revo slot is really pretty detailed, I think. They did do a nice job. I mean, I just think that maybe, NSR, they aren't as worried about being precise when it comes to the detail. But, man, Lionface, they run so well. They are a fun car to drive. So let me see. They are worth it. George, a noob question. Can I run 124 scale on my Carrera Digital without upgrading my power supply? Gene, you can run a 124th scale one car not very well and not very fast on your original 132nd scale power supply. Those cars they're heavier and they draw more amperage. And if you throw a second one on there, they're gonna be boring to drive. So you need to upgrade. If you're going to run 124 scale, you're going to need to upgrade the power supply. And if you're going to upgrade a power supply, it's cheaper to buy an adjustable power supply off of Amazon for $49, which is what I did, and cut the plug off and wire it into your track. Then you can go from 14 volts to run 132nd scale and go up to 18 volts to run 124. So that's what I would recommend. I have a video on it. If you go out and check my channel out, that I talk about that and I show how to wire that up. And it is a great upgrade. There are some warnings. You need to remember that you've got to back it down to 14 volts because running a 132nd scale car at 18 volts, it's going to be so fast and probably going to damage some cars. So you really don't want to do that. So the new Polycar 126 is a very nice runner. Yeah, it looks good too, John. I agree. Ronan is hooked on the Polycars. Yeah, they really do a nice job with detail. I think they look great. Armadillo slots. Hey, Marty, love the track room setup and the streaming production. Hey, thanks. I've worked hard to try to give you guys good quality. Everybody wanted to see my track in the background, and so it took me a few months to get prepared for that. But we're here, and I'm glad I did it because it's nice having this back there, and I can always go to the track and do some racing or show off a car if I'm showing off cars. I don't have a lot of cars, guys. I took all of John Mark's cars out of my pit box, and I was like, oh wow, I have just a handful of cars that are ready to roll for analog racing. So I'm getting there though. I plan on picking up a couple more here in the next week or two. So Ronin Tech Slot Box is awesome. I had mine when Joe first started doing them, still going strong. That's awesome. Let's see here, Gene. Wait, are you saying I can only run one car at a time, or was that a typo? No, Gene, what he was talking about is you could only run one 124 scale at a time on your 132nd power supply, on your 14 volt power supply. That is I understand that I am working on an analog switch like the. I understand that I am working on an analog switch like the tech slot. Yeah, Nick. Alex was on the live stream last week. I'm forgetting Alex's last name, but he has kind of done a prototype of the tech slot, his version of the tech slot box, and he offered to, collaborate with some people, and make them so you could probably work out a deal with him if you don't want to go through trying to figure it out yourself. Again, if you can read a schematic, the schematics are out there. If you can read a schematic and know how to solder and not afraid of that, you can probably build your own. I think a lot of guys would be a little intimidated breaking into their career as CU. I think that's what you'll run into. So I commented on the actual video today, but I will ask here as well. On your tire cleaner video, were those silicone tires that were cleaning? Yes. Sorry, I haven't gotten to the comments today. I have a real job during the day, so I don't really get to do much, except for I may look at things at my lunch hour, but I will get to it. Yes, we run silicone on this track. We made that decision early on. The problem is you have to keep a pretty clean track when you run silicone. And in this basement, it's a little difficult. I got to wipe it down before every time we run, but it's not too hard. It's not too bad. It's not a wet basement down here. It looks like a dungeon, but it is really dry. I don't have water issues or anything like that, but I do have some dust coming off these sandstone, limestone. I'm not sure exactly what all this fieldstone is, but it does leave kind of a dusty residue that I've got to deal with all the time. And my dog Finn, which you probably saw a minute ago on camera, he tracks it all over the house when he's down here with us. So there's that. Hey, John Schaefer, welcome, man. Good to have you. John, you need to come on the live stream sometime. When you have time, I can send you the link and you can jump on and we can talk slot cars. So it's just not me talking the whole time. Let's see here. You will only be able to run one 124 scale. Yep. With the digital 132 power supply. If you want to run 124s at a time, you need the 124 transformer. Yep. That's right. If solo building and testing, digital is the way to go. Gladstone, I would agree. If you race by yourself a lot, being able to set up ghost cars, lane changing pit stops, it's very entertaining by yourself. I would hope that maybe at some point you could find some people that would be interested in racing with you. I keep inviting family members over, and I think my family looks forward to holidays because they know that they'll have a chance to come down and race on the track. So, but yes, I think that is the way to go. Hey, Bill Royal, welcome. Yeah, no problem, Gene. Happy to. Hey, Shafe. Hey, Clint. I agree with Marty on the power supply. Yeah, Nick, it's a easy upgrade. It's super simple. It gives you lots of flexibility. So John Schaefer mentioned one time, I've heard him say it a couple times, tune a car for 14 volts, and you get it running great at 14 volts. It's an amazing car to drive at 12. And he's right. You can just pull the voltage down just slightly, and man, you can really do a lot of driving, get some quick laps in, and not a lot of marshalling, especially if you're by yourself. So, great stuff. Is that the infamous Dusty behind you? Tim, yes. Tim Arnold wants to know if that's you. So, yes, that is my brother Dusty. He seems to be doing a lot of marshalling back here. Everything all right? Oh, is that what you're trying to do? That's funny. Oh, Dusty's got his slotted Jaguar out. That's a good running car. Let's see what else we have. Lots of folks convert 124 cars to 22 volt motors. Oscar, that I guess maybe to run on big wooden tracks. I could see that. That makes more sense to me. Yeah. So, Oscar, I think that there's a couple companies that make motors for 124 scale cars that are made to run at 12 volts, 14 volts. I think Travis, that slot car guy, tested one probably about a year ago. I remember watching a video where he threw it in a 124 scale car, and the car ran really well. So it can be done, but that might get expensive if you're having to buy a motor every time you want to run your 124 scale cars. Hey, Slot Journal, welcome. And what are the golf livery cars on the shelf? Nick, so golf livery cars on the shelf. We have a sideways Lancia, that Group B car, Sidewinder, but it's sideways car. This is the new NSR GT40. It is, I just about dropped it. This is John Marks. He left it here. Probably a bad idea. Actually, I haven't ran it very many laps. He ran a couple laps. This is a great car. This car is fast. And we really even haven't tuned it. Straight out of the box. Without silicone tires, it was running 9.2s, 9.3s on this track. So through a set of silicone in this car is probably be the second car under 9 seconds. The other golf livery is the Aston Martin Slotted Sidewinder. This is a car that is John Marks that Daryl built for him. And this car runs 9.1s on this track. It is the best LMP car that we've ran on this track. Dusty has the same Aston Martin, and he's probably going to need to tear this one apart to see how Daryl got it running, so that he can get his running as well. Another golf livery, 917K. This is a Carrera digital car with a Frankenslot guide. This belongs to Area 51. He sent us 4 917s, all tuned identical, and we kind of run them as like an IROC race. So a lot of fun. This is a great car. Great livery. And the last golf livery that's on the shelf is the Scalextrics VW bus. So there you go, Nick. That is all of the golf livery cars that I have on the shelf. Now, Dusty has a couple golf livery cars. He's got the same LMP that I just showed you that John Mark has. So there you go. Let's see here. Variable power supplies will work with most people, but you have to watch the kids like a hawk. Yep. Yeah, that's the one simple thing about just being a regular power supply. Hi, I'm John Mark, and I have a slot car problem. Hello, John Mark. You're in good company, brother. I think everybody else here. Now you need a wireless mic to do commentary while driving on your track. Bernie, I have wireless mic. I actually have a couple of wireless mics. I'll have to do that sometime. I'll hook one up, and so I can go over to the track and get footage. I would like to add a couple more cameras, but cameras cost money, and yeah, this channel's not, it's not paying for itself right yet. It's never going to pay for itself, just so you know. But that's a joke I have with my wife. But yeah, that's something I'll work on. Let's see. John Mark is a slotaholic. Yes, he is. Yes, Raul is right there with you. He actually might be in deeper than you are, John Mark. I think Area 51 is right there with you. Let's see here. I run my 132nd scale on my 18.4 volts, 124 scale track. Yes, they're fast. I have good driving skills. There you go, Gary. Well done, man. I've always worried about them just like being tough on the motors, but because those motors I think are made to run at 14 volts. So you finally cracked open. This is grandson of man. Finally cracked open the Fly Porsche. My lady got me. Beside obvious guts issues, I got it to be about a little over a second faster than my slotted. Granted, my track is pretty slow. That's cool. It looks awesome, like an old castle. Yeah, it's an old Victorian house, 1897. So yeah, the basement's like a dungeon, very much like a dungeon. You're not addicted if it's something you truly enjoy. That's you're right. But I think that my wife would not say I'm addicted. She would say I'm obsessed at the moment. She says that that's all I think about is slot cars right now. So, which is not true. I think about lots of other things like Slot-It and NSR and Carrera, and those are everyday words of vocabulary. Nick, what controller is Dusty using? Dusty is using a Frankenslot wireless controller for Carrera Digital. It works with the Carrera, the wireless receiver, and it was a controller that was broken. And Bruce said, "Hey, see if you can fix this, and if you can fix it, have at it." I guess it had been laying in his shop for quite some time, and was able to fix it. So, who knew that I could repair things? But it was a pretty easy repair. So yeah, it's a great. The only thing that's different about it, and it takes a little bit to get used to, is there's not a lot of friction in the trigger because it doesn't have a wiper on the rheostat. It's a digital trigger. So like that's a little different feel if you're used to a true analog type of feel. So you don't get that noise. It's really quiet, super smooth, not a lot of feedback in the trigger. That'd be my only comment. After about 30 seconds, 60 seconds, you get used to it, and I don't think anything more about it. But yeah, cool app. Let's see. I jumped on the yearly subscription for Smart Race. Smart decision, Ronan. I think the more people who do that, the more development that he will be able to do on the app. He watched the live stream last week when he spent a lot of time talking about it, and so he's going to come on the live stream. We're trying to put some dates together. I sent an email out yesterday just to invite him, and he said, yeah, he would. It's just the middle of the night for him, like it is some of our other UK people. So, but yeah, we'll be getting him on the live stream, the owner of Smart Race, and the more we can help him out, the more he'll get to develop and enhance that and add more features. It is a very robust piece of software now. I can imagine he's probably got a million ideas of things to add to make it even better. So that's cool. He does seem to be practicing marshalling. Tim's messing with you, man. That's funny. Dusty's used to it. He can handle it. It is. I've been using the basic Smart Race subscription for years, but they have added a lot since then. Yeah, I mean, they've definitely made it. I mean, it's like $2 a month, and if you buy the annual, it's cheaper than that per month. So, yeah, 12-volt motors and gearing works. Is Dusty running 12 volts? Dusty is running 14 volts right now because that's what they run at Cincy Slots. So I think he just wants to get used to how the car reacts at 14 volts and get better at driving it because that's what he's going to be seeing at the track on Thursday nights. Yeah, Nick, I like the GT42. It's a pretty sweet car. John Mark was on it the day that it came out, and so he's had it about a week. It's pretty bad. What's your favorite racing livery, modern and classic? Josh. That will buff out. I feel bad. I feel like I'm missing some stuff. Sorry, guys. I'm a little behind. I'm getting there. to answer Josh's question, my favorite. I'm a sucker for golf livery, um, but I'm not a hater on other liveries. Like the Martini livery is pretty sweet. This is Dusty's favorite livery. His Path car, it's a Scalextrics car, is over here on the shelf. But he definitely likes the Motul, the Pfaff racing livery. That's a good looking car. The plaid, and Dave Kennedy would probably agree. Dave, I know, yeah, Revo Slot needs to jump on that livery, and they need to work it out. It's one of my favorite Instagram accounts that I follow. They're always posting awesome pictures of that car. Steve, is anything Porsche? A golf livery, time to go shopping again. Yeah, the golf livery is just such a classic livery. But, there's some other great liveries. Yeah, that's one of the things I really like about now that I like about the Group B is there's some really cool liveries out there on Group B cars, and I love groups. Let's see, Group C cars. There's a lot of great liveries on those Porsches, and the Castrol is a good livery. Lineface, we need trackside cameras. I actually have a camera. My phone, I can go trackside if we need to. Buy more coffee, people. Lionface, I'm not sure that the coffee sponsorship is about fun and sharing the coffee with people that love coffee. So that's funny. Yeah, Slot Journal. I looked at the Mevo Camera 3 pack. I'm not dropping $1,000 for it either. I know that that Raul has that, and it's pretty sweet. It gives him a lot of flexibility, but it is a lot of money, and I just don't. How do you like them, Frankenslot? Yeah, I think that's a good digital wire. If you want a wireless controller, it's a better controller than the Carrera controllers. The advantage of Carrera controllers is that they were wireless, but now that you can get wireless trigger style, I think that's the right transition. That's probably good money to spend right off the bat. So let's see who else we have. Off topic, are you affected by the train crash mess? No, Gladstone, that is way further north in Ohio. It's like a couple miles from the Pennsylvania border. So I'm in southern Ohio. I'm about an hour south of Columbus, to kind of just give you a time. I sit almost between Cincinnati and Columbus, sort of, kind of in that area. I agree. The Carrera 917s, 132nd scale, is their best performing cars, hands down. I've now driven 5 of them, and I think that they are their top performing cars. And why we don't see those in the United States anymore? They released a 124 scale that's coming here, but there's a 132nd scale shell car getting released in Europe, not here, and that just makes 0 sense to me. 0 sense. I mean, the Porsche is popular in the United States. It will sell. Just send them here. It cost $1,000 to get a 124 set in Canada. Wow. That's crazy. Let's see, Cliff, Marty, I haven't even built my first layout yet, and I'm still acquiring sets. Sure think I'm not think I'm nuts going through my second childhood. Yeah, Cliff, it's okay, man. It's okay. Get that layout. I couldn't imagine owning a set. Well, yeah, I can. My brother does. Having a set, although we've robbed some parts from your set, I think. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, it would be good. You got to get that thing set up, even if it's on the floor for a little bit. Is it really? Where you hear it? Okay. I'm going to switch cameras to the phone camera. Yes, no, maybe? No. Why is it doing that? Troubleshooting, guys. Sorry. I guess I should ask this on the. Okay, sorry guys, we're doing a little troubleshooting with the track. I'm going to throw this out and see if anybody else has the same issue. Let's see here, where are we at? Looking at the chat. What are you laughing about? Yeah, sorry about that. So sometimes the computer, and I'm curious to know if it's the wireless, Dusty. But sometimes you can squeeze the trigger on the wireless or any controller, and you can hear it in the track, and then it will control the car from either lane. And I'm curious to know if that's a tech slot issue. It doesn't happen very often, but it does seem to do this every once in a while. Does anybody ever have that problem? Someone say bourbon. Right, Danny, I think that you need to send bodies to George and have him paint them up in Area 51 paint schemes. Area 51, I like terms. Do what? I'm surprised George doesn't have them all painted Area 51. I like beer liveries, Black Label, Miller, or Steiner, Corona. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, like with the whole cigarette thing. The old cigarette liveries were awesome. Like the Marlboro cars were the Camel cars. They were all great liveries, especially like on Formula One cars and Indy cars. And so when those disappeared and when that money disappeared, I mean, racing changed for sure. But there have been some other great liveries. Well, they're leaving all that stuff at North Wilkesboro. Are they? The old Winston. Yeah. I saw that mural is going to stay. Yeah. So cars can go out of range and return the same control. Cars can go out of range and return out of the same controller's control. Dang it, I now have that song stuck in my head. Danny, Miller High Life. Yeah, like the Miller High Life has had some great liveries in Winston Cup and NASCAR, in Formula One, in lots of different. Yeah, they've had some great liveries. Let's see here. Somebody snapped their fingers. Jim Carson. Yep, more cowbell. NSR has a Camel Indy car. Oh, I bet that's sweet. Yeah, it is. It looks good. Let's see. Marlboro or the BMW art liveries. Yeah, those are cool liveries too. Dave Kennedy, welcome. Appreciate you joining. So yeah, those are some great liveries. So Josh started that conversation, was like, what liveries do people like? What are some liveries you'd like to see? You know, like John Player Special has been popular here recently. That's a great livery from the 70s. In the John Player, yeah, yeah, it probably is. A lot of times those are special editions. Yeah. So the John Player Special is a great livery. I don't know. There's some. Yeah, Dave's feeling love. Welcome. See, I don't know. I don't know what else. I think that the Porsche 917, the hippie liveries are cool. From the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. Those are cool liveries. Don't answer the phone. Where's Harry? Yeah, I have no idea. He's probably working the new tire truer. Hey, is anybody going to pick up the new tire truer that they finally released? Harry's done a few videos on it. It looks great, especially if you're a Carrera car guy. It'll help you true those wheels, the back wheels. Might be worth it. And the price came in cheaper than I think that they were. It's like $189. So, Harry put it in his video that the retail price was $189.99. So, which is pretty cool. Sunday Slots wants to see more Mario 132 characters. I would say that the Mario and Yoshi cars are so popular, with grandpas buying them for their grandkids, dads buying them for their kids that have slot car tracks. I think it's a great idea to add more of those type of liveries, especially if they can do some changes to create all the characters. So then you could have real life slot car, super Mario Kart. I think that's great. So the more they can do of that kind of thing, the more you have a chance of getting the younger generation into slot cars, and then they'll graduate into GT cars and all kinds of other things as they get better. Yes, kids would love that. I wonder if doing some liveries from some of the esport teams, some are cool, and bring some crossover from gaming to slot cars. That's a good idea. I think what company has released the E Formula One cars. That might be a good crossover point too. I don't know. I just don't know how popular E Formula One is. It seems to get even less coverage here in the States now. We got some decent coverage during the pandemic, but I haven't seen a race in a long time. So, yeah, it is. Yeah. Let's see. Who has the new tire truer, Marty? Slot Car Corner is going to carry that, and it's CG slots. But it's not been listed yet, but it's supposed to start shipping next week, I think. But if you check Harry Wise's channel, Home Racing World, he has done a couple videos talking about the Truer, so he seems pretty happy with it. It's definitely a good choice for those of us who don't have a Truer and would like to have one. Gerardo, you bought the Overdrive tire Truer. That's what Raul just got too. John Albright, BRE livery and the Datsuns to go with it. Yeah, like I see like a trend of the JDM cars, the Datsuns, the Nissans, the early Nissans, the Skylines. It's cool to see those cars coming out. So let's see here. Stock Car Corner has it, I think. Yeah, that's who's going to be distributing it, I think, for them. Yeah, Dusty just said it's not on the website yet. So yeah, Area 51 not coming out until next week. So yeah, they do. They have a very close relationship, which is cool. I'm glad they're bringing it to market. We need an affordable Tire True option, and we're getting it, so that's exciting. Johnny Lightning old school livery would be cool. Yeah, that's cool. I don't see it available yet. Yeah, it's not until next week. As a younger generation person, early 20s, I'd say some more modern cars and Japanese cars would help the hobby a lot. Josh, you have just about every Japanese car that's come out in your collection. So, yeah, I would understand that. Also, more presence on TikTok might help. So I'll have to work up a dance routine with my slot cars, I guess, to jump on TikTok. Is that how that works? Be patient, grasshopper. Yeah, Gary, we all do. That's funny. Dusty, I think it's what's happening is some of the track. That's the other thing about this layout. I've got some gaps, and I'm afraid those gaps are what's causing some of that. It just confuses the controller. So I would rather you be, getting some laps in. Sorry. Yeah, Chris, I agree. The Moo liveries. Yeah, they're pretty sweet. I think that's a newer design, a newer livery. They look really good. Yeah, the BWT livery is pretty iconic. I have the Audi, the Carrera Audi, and I fixed this car. This car was not running well, and it was the pinion. So I had to super glue the pinion, thanks to George. So I got it back on the track, and this is my track record holder right here with the Piranha motor. I have to preface that. Dusty's Pink Pig is really close. His F1 cars are right there with it. Very fast. But that's a digital magnet. Yeah. I keep two different track records. I keep a magnet track record and a non-mag track record. So right now the non-mag track record is the Elva, the Thunderslot Elva. Come on, no one's going to say Marlboro. The hot red, white. Yeah, no. Yeah, we were just talking about it. That was good. Yeah, the girls wore it out. Yeah, they fight over that one. The pink. John Schaefer, the good motor. That the Piranha, that's the direct replacement for the Carrera cars. It already comes with the plug on it. Yeah, yeah. You put that in, and you immediately take a second off your time. It's a great motor. Dave, what did I miss? Soon. The Rothmans. Yeah, Alan, great. I'd kind of forgotten about the Rothmans, but those are great liveries, classic. What are the two records? On this track, an 893 is my non-mag track record, and 7.2 is the magnet record, or 7.19, something like that. So off the top of my head, honestly, we haven't run magnets in a while, so most of the magnet cars run in the mid 8s to low 8s, but we have a few cars that stick really, really good. The Formula One cars, and then the Carrera cars with the Piranha motor will run some fast laps. But those are all mag cars. Nick, you're running into your cars. Yeah, it's a good motor, and for like it's under $20. It's a great replacement. So if I have to replace a Carrera motor, I'm probably putting that motor in. Yeah. I don't think I've had one go bad yet, but I've had them lose programming. What was that? Dude, Finney, what did you chew the? Oh, it's the bottom of that. It must have fallen on the floor. It's the bottom of this. We got an extra one. Finn, he chews everything up. The Castrol Supra, if you are Gran Turismo, yeah, that's a cool livery. And we're seeing a lot of the Castrol liveries come out. The Dusty's Jaguar is the Castrol livery, the slotted Jaguar. Great livery. Let's see here. One of the two from my GT race battle set had a motor that flamed out after about 5 hours of total driving time. Never ran for more than 10 minutes at a time. Is that one of your stock? That's one of your stock motors, Bill? Yeah. Sometimes, I think Dave's talked about on his channel. They buy those motors by the thousand, and every once in a while you get one that just doesn't hold up. The quality assurance is probably not real strong going through those motors. Yeah, thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. Racing with magnets ain't fun to me. Now, we're not going to get into like magnets versus no magnets. I don't like that argument. But here was the thing. When we first built the track, we built this layout, we were racing magnets and had no desire to even run non-mag. And then we went to Cincy Slots and raced, and it completely changed our minds. And now we love no mag racing, especially analog. But when we run digital, we run magnets. I think with the pit lane and on this track with the high bank turn on the end, I think magnet racing is fun when you're racing digital. And when we get somebody that's new on the track and they don't know how to drive and they're still learning how the trigger works and how to lane change and things like that, the magnets really help. It helps with beginners. So I always put somebody in a pretty strong magnet car when they're the first on the track, and I use the CU, the computer, and bump down their top speed, and so they can learn to drive. And then as they get better at driving, then we increase the speed and hopefully increase the fun. So Bruce says, Dusty, you better get practicing. Yeah, he will. The track is doing something funky. So we need to figure out what is causing that. Playboy had nice race liveries before Sean Casey, before free porn. Yeah, they probably did. What's the difference between the motors that come with the 132nd Carrera cars with the computer chip and the replacement motors that appear to have 3 diodes soldered to them? Track speed 815. I don't know. Somebody in the chat answer that. I'm not exactly sure what that's all about. That's a good question. Let's see. 10% production in speed for basic motors. Yeah. Less marshalling. Nick R., you're actually close to me. Yeah, DeFingers. I think most people are a sucker for the Golf livery. It's just so iconic. Looks fantastic. All Carrera motors are the same. Well, not quite all. Yeah, I mean, like the 917s come with the long cam motor compared to the short cam that comes in most every other Carrera car that I've purchased. So I put the 21.5 Piranha in my Carrera C8R Vet. I tuned, glued, and trued, came in third, never seen the track. Let's see. Tim, you might be right. Yeah, so those are all great liveries. let's see. I had another question I was going to throw out to the group. What time is it? 9:15. Yeah, the John Player special. Yeah, I know. That's George, one of George's favorites. It's a great. Short cans are about $20K. Long cans are about $26K. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, my 917 is like out of the box was much faster than the rest of my Carrera cars when we first started. And then when I throw the Piranha motor in, that motor is as fast, if not faster, than that long cam. Yeah, that's a great livery in any model. Yeah, I agree, Dusty. See, Todd Driver. One thing that reduced marshalling on my track was a house rule that you crash, you're out the rest of the race. Spin outs are okay. Cautions went down to one a race. Yeah, I mean, I've watched quite a few videos of people racing, and there's a lot of a lot of them that once you're out until everybody else is out, and there's still time left in the race, or you haven't got to the lap count, and then everybody comes back in where they went off. I've seen that. When once you're out, you're done. I think there's got to be a happy medium. I think that's kind of harsh, but I don't know. It does keep you from pushing your car to the limits, but I think that's part of the fun is trying to see exactly what can you get out of your car. So I think finding a happy medium is good. Let's see here. Some of the older Carrera motors are different RPM, but they are very old. Gotcha. Same motors, same specs. It's rare that any two run the same. Yeah, John, I think you're right. They try to get them in a range. They're making them so fast. It's like as long as it's performing within a range, they're happy with it. So out the door that it goes. Crash and burn. Let's see. You have seen half golf, half. Yeah, Ronan, I've seen that. Sideways did that with the Lancia. It's half John Player, half golf. Yeah, and I'm not sure I quite understand that. I mean, I know what they're. I think they made it a special edition. I know what they're kind of playing to the people who love both liveries, but I'm not sure that the car never ran that way. I don't think so. It is. You've not seen it? Yeah, you need to go look it up. It's out there. I think Bruce had one. I think Bruce, do you have one of the sideways? That's the dual livery. Let's see here. Wow, a bunch of stuff came through. Thunder Island Raceway, South Carolina, 10-foot by 30, analog, 4-lane. Roger Edler lived in around Chillicothe in my early years. There used to be a track on the street by the courthouse. Roger Edler, I believe I know you. So Roger, did you? I think you were one of my customers my early years at Kingston National Bank. Maybe. If you're the Roger Edler, I think you are, since you lived near Chillicothe. But yes, there used to be a track, and I think the track that was at the hobby shop in Chillicothe, where I live, just a couple blocks from me right now, that I think that track is somewhere in Piketon, Ohio. So Thomas Sanders, I could be wrong, but I think some of the older Carrera cars may have faster motors than the ones produced in the last 1 to 3 years. I think that's what. Is that
what Daryl's talking about? What? Keeping the NASCAR cars off the track?
Yeah, keeping the NASCAR. No, like right here. I think here's what he's talking about.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot he sent them.
Yeah. Yeah. So our friend Daryl sent these NASCAR. I think that's what Daryl's referring to. Yeah, they're pretty sweet, Dust. You'll have to do some laps with them once we get over there and figure out the track. Let's see. What else am I missing? Career GT class for 21.5 class. We all run 21.5. That's cool. Yeah, I think there's some ways that you can keep things consistent for people and try to keep the competition close. So the most races end up with one driver unless they're very good and considerate, right? I use the app Connect to slow people down without telling them if they crash too many times. Yes. I am guilty of that myself. Sunday slots. Billy, that's a great way to help control people. And it keeps them from getting too frustrated. I mean, if you're always coming off because you're slow to figure out the trigger and like breaking points and things, it helps alleviate frustration. It's a great way to do it. I think that when you're out works, as it makes side-by-side racing very tense. You want to push, but you don't want to crash. It's a real knife edge. Yeah, Lion, I think you're right. I've not participated in a race like that. I would stand no chance of finishing a race. I would be out every time. I'm getting better at driving, but I'm still out of the slot a little bit. When you scratch build, you drive more carefully. Hate to damage a cool 125th custom. Yeah, you're probably right. Thanks for the nice packaging job, Cincy Slots. There you go. De Leon must have ordered something from Bruce. Thank you for keeping the NASCAR cars off the track while Dusty is practicing. That's what he's talking about. Not anymore. Okay, Bruce does not have that car anymore, Dusty. But you can go look it up. Oh, did he? Okay. Hey, John, welcome. Thanks. Take care, man. Roger's a good man. There you go. Later, Shafe. Thanks for joining us tonight. If I could fill out the map on the website, we start pinning locations and build the world of slots. Yeah, so real quick about what Raul was talking about there. Raul on his website, and Raul, you're a moderator, you can drop the link out there. It's a map that we're hoping that people who are into slot cars, I think anybody, I think Raul lists them as influencers. That's anybody who's in slot cars, man. And if you want to be on the map, fill that out. It'll put you on the map so we can help people get connected. We want to connect people to local tracks. We want to connect people who have home tracks that they invite people to come to. And you can be selective on how much information you put out there. So you can drop your pin in an area. It's not at your address or house, right? So there can be some anonymity, but like I'm in Chillicothe, Ohio. I talk about it all the time. Everybody knows where I'm at. It probably wouldn't be that hard from my description of my house to drive down a few of the streets in downtown Chillicothe and find my house. So I'm obviously not so worried about that. But some people are, but he built this great website that drops everything on a Google map, and so that we can find hobby shops that carry slot cars, and trying to aggregate that all in one place that's visual. So I know that there are lists and directories out there someplace, and I'm sure Raul would love to partner with somebody who has that. So go out there and check it out. We've already dropped some things on the map. Ronan, where did I get my Super Tires banner? So Pamela from Super Tires sent that to me because we gave them a shout out, and she's been very gracious to send us that, and so we're sporting that here at the track, and it's in my background for a reason because they were very kind and sent me a handful of demo tires to try, and we've been racing on them at Cincy Slots, so. It's been great. Briefly, what's the track doing? Dusty. Oh, you're asking what it's doing. So it's like it's picking up a short someplace. When you pull the trigger, you can hear the power. It's an audible sound through the track. Is that how you explain it, Dusty? And when you put a car on any lane, the same controller controls both cars. It'll work perfectly, and all of a sudden, it's like it picks up a short. We shut it off, come back 15, 20 minutes later, and it's fixed. and disappears. I go around and make sure that there's nothing on the track, no screws or anything that's causing a short. But that's briefly as I can. That's what's happening. It's not consistent. I've 2 or 3 nights this week with no issue, and then Dusty was out there an hour and it had issues. And he says it's because he's so fast. Let's see. When you post a new video, John, let's see. Conquest. Can you link the site? Yep. Thanks, Nick. There it is. Called it the World of Slots. Y'all sneaky. What is it? Dave, you are the man. So I wonder what caused that jumper to. So that's creating the short. So how do you prevent that? Any ideas? Anybody out there? I think that happened the other night. Oh no, Bruce. I was watching a live stream of from a few months ago that you did a Group C race, and I think Daryl was racing against James, and that happened at the beginning of a race. We would not have known that because I'm not running in the second lane, Dusty. Did that fix it? That one was jump. Okay. Thanks, Dave. That's great. Find the driest basement, you'll find Marty. Lion, this is true. I've been in other basements and houses on my block, and they are not as nice as this basement. Most of them don't have concrete floors. Most of them still have dirt floors. They're old homes. Early 1800s to about 1910. So old homes. Yeah. You don't have to put your exact address, just a city is great. Yep. Carrera tires. Yep. I've experienced front tires going bad just sitting. Yeah. I haven't had it. I guess I haven't been in it long enough to have some tires dry rot, but I know that I probably ruined a set of tires by putting fingernail polish on them to make them zero grip. On which one? Oh, yeah. I'm not sure, to be honest. Sweet, good deal. Thanks, Slot Car News. Yeah, thanks, Dave. Short or cross jumpers. Yeah, I mean, I figured it was a short, but I was like, it works fine, and then all of a sudden the short shows up. So I search for a screw or something, but yeah, it sounds like it's the crossover lanes, the lane changers. It could be grandson, but I think we figured it out. We had one of the lane changers that crossed. I had that happen when cross jumper wires in the wrong lanes. Yep, thanks. Reboot the track. Yeah, that's what he's doing now. It was like an odd hum in the track. Yes, that is correct. Are there years that these Carrera problem tires were used? They beat me to it. Very good. Thanks, Bruce. I had my controller hooked up wrong. Oh, Daryl, you remember what I'm the yeah, that's right. You did have your controller hooked up wrong. Yeah, is that what caused the lane to change? Maybe that it wasn't the lane change. Yep. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, I don't have dirt floors, but there are a lot of basements in my neighborhood that they never poured concrete in it. So, and they're basements; they're not just. Is it okay? Bruce, any word on super tires? We'll have Carrera 124 Lola tires ready.
Jim, stay tuned. All right. Good to know. I had a crossover like Career Track, and it interfered with my tech slot box. Yeah, Bill, I think that's what I'm dealing with. Just a lane changer that's stuck. I don't have any of the corner lane changers, so I didn't have to rewire any of them, but obviously I've got something that's causing a problem. I bought my first Carrera set in 2015-ish, and the tires from the cars from that time frame all went bad. Looked like they melted. Yeah, Jim, I think that new tires are cheap and easy to get, so unfortunately, you would just have to replace them. Let's see. The heat of the excitement. Yeah, Dusty was just running too fast on the track. Sunday Slot Cars, do you have host public races? I'm looking on the website. And Sarnia is only 4 hours from Dayton, Ohio. Plus, he has his passport. This is a straight, not a changer, just a mandatory lane swap. Gotcha. All right, it's 9:30. I wanted to be concise. Guys, this has been fun. And is there anything else we want to talk about before we close up shop? You don't think room temperature matters for bad tires? Jim Brown, I've had hundreds of Carrera cars over the years. Working on them, only maybe 10% of my cars had any issues. Yeah, I've not run into anything. 9:30 to 3:30 on Sundays. Wow, that's a long time to be racing. It's the mix of rubber and plastic that causes the melting. Yeah, there's some things that just don't go well, just like spray paint and polystyrene. It melts the melts the polystyrene. So, I mean, I imagine there are things that you could put on the tire that causes it to. I'm guessing that tire treatment probably does that eventually down the road. If you keep treating your tires, that the rubber eventually breaks down. So, hey, thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. Night, George. Guys, this has been great. Thanks. Remember, if you want some coffee, 2 lines, all one word, and you get 25% off your coffee. And this has been fun. Appreciate it. Guys, enjoy racing. Get your slot cars out. Find a local track. Go have fun. Create a great environment for people that people can enjoy this great hobby. So I love sharing it with you guys. It's been fantastic. And we'll see you next week. Take care.